Great morning. We're going to pick some cards and see what the topic of the morning is. Let's shuffle these a little bit. First card out is loyalty. Second card is Primavera. She who begins, launch, actualize potential. And let's see what our third card is. Passion. Third card is passion. Okay. So if we are going to begin, Primavera, launch, actualize some potential, okay, you have to have passion about it, be willing to put a lot of energy into it, and loyalty, stick with it, because things don't manifest in a day. Everything is not on our whim and our timing. Now, what you want to put out there and see manifest, again, we've talked about this before, about, planting your seed and weeding the garden. And again, you got to stick with it. So what's coming up here real quick, if you want to make progress in your spiritual journey, you want to get some depth, then you can't be like a butterfly that's hopping from teacher and teaching to teacher and teaching to teacher and teaching, and you get a little here and a little there and a little there, and you dig a little hole here and a little hole there and a little hole here, and then it's, well, I want something more exciting, I want something more, and you keep running from place to place and digging all these little holes, but you're not getting below the surface. If you want to find water, you can't just keep digging a bunch of little holes. You have to dig deep, okay? Same thing with the spiritual path. You have to give it time to manifest. You have to give it time to grow. You have to give it time to flower, okay? So if you keep just wanting to do the spiritual circus, and you want this act and you want that act, okay, you can go run and play. But if you really want to get some depth, then you got to stick with it. You got to be loyal to it, okay? You have to give it time. You have to put in the energy. You have to stick with it, okay? And again, these things are going to take time. Like the Kundalini journey, you can start in one lifetime and it can take a number of lifetimes to complete, okay? And again, you can't, it's like the Bible says too, once you start out to hoe your road, you can't be turning and looking back. You got to keep going forward. You have to continue, okay, to push through. You have to stick with it in order to get the depth, okay? And it's, remember also this one, it's always darkest before the dawn. it'll seem like you get to these plateaus. Now, you may start out and at first you seem like, oh, I'm getting all this and it's going and it's great and I'm having all this progress. Then you hit a plateau and it seems like nothing is happening. Then you say, no, I want to go over here because nothing's happening. Okay? But things are working. It's working under the surface, and you may just not always be aware of what's taking place under the surface. Okay? You can keep digging, and you're just this close to breaking through, and you leave it and go start another hole somewhere else. Okay? This much further, if you would have just stuck with it, you'd have that breakthrough. So I can tell you in my own journey, and I use my own journey most often as an example, that I went through really, really hard times in the Kundalini journey. Sometimes it was so difficult, you didn't think you could do the next thing, and you just had to go breath by breath, second by second, to hang in, to keep going. Okay? In the end, everything was great. It all blew out. Everything was, but again, you go through those hard times. If you're going to make a tunnel through a mountain, you got to cut through the rock. That's difficult. You're not always going to find an easy pass through the mountain. Sometimes you got to cut through there, okay? And you got to stick with it. It takes perseverance. It takes continuing to put that energy forward. It takes holding the faith that it's going to break through, that you are making progress, even though you may not see it, okay? You see a swan up there and they just seem to be gliding along. But don't forget, underneath that surface, they're paddling like mad, okay? You don't see you don't see the mad paddling underneath. You just see the smooth glide, okay? You just see the smooth glide. And erroneously think that it's just so automatic and smooth, but actually it's taking a lot of effort under that water to do that forward motion. So anyway, that's what we get today for the topic of the day. The topic of the day is whatever you're starting, whatever your goal, wherever you want to go, you got to give it time. You have to have persistence. You need to continue to put that energy out there and hold things in place, okay? And not to just flit here and there and do a little hole here and a little hole there. If you want to get to the water, you got to dig the well. You got to go deep, deeper, deeper. Sometimes it takes a lot of digging to get to that water. It's there, and don't give up too early. Just keep going forward and know that it will right itself. You will come out the other side, okay? Love and light. Thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up. Feel free to share my videos, and I'll see you online. Stay safe, tribe. Don't forget to mask up. I don't want to lose any of my tribe here. Always good to see you, and I do read all of your comments, so thank you for that.